Hello and welcome to Roamin with the Rubes. I'm Lee and this is Joe.
And here we are at the beautiful Comeback Camping campground where we've been enjoying a couple of days away and absolutely loving it. Now what we're going to do in this video is share with you 3 of our favourite camp breakfasts.
And if you can please stick around to the end of the video, we'll let you know where you can get the recipes from.
So, I guess we better get cooking, Lee.
Bon appetit! Breakfast number 1.
Breakfast number 1 is a breakfast hash. Potato, chorizo, some lovely eggs. You can't go wrong. Let's give you a look at it and show you how it's done. So for this hearty breakfast hash, here's the ingredients you're going to need. We usually go by 1 large potato per person or 2 small ones. Little ones today, so 2 each. An onion, brown onion, a couple of big cloves of garlic, a Spanish chorizo sausage, 3 short cuts of bacon, and 3 eggs. We also have some Spanish paprika, but you can use whatever paprika you like. We particularly like the Spanish one. We have a sweet and a hot. We like a little bit of spice in this. Of course, virgin olive oil and parsley flakes for garnish.
And for a little bit of freshness on the side, I'm going to have some cherry tomatoes, make a little dressing with some sherry vinegar and extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, and that just adds a nice little bit on the side.
Okay, I'm going to start off by chopping all the protein ingredients up. So we're just going to dice up the chorizo. I like to make it in little cubes, so I'm going to pop it in a bowl. So we do the same with the bacon. Just cut it into strips, then chop it across into the bowl. I've just given the cutting board and the knife a good wipe, and we're going to flip it over. We're going to cut these potatoes up into little cubes so they cook a bit quicker. So stack them up. And this will be a nice little quantity of potato for the hash. And then last but not least, we're going to dice up an onion. Okay. I just take the first layer off, get rid of the skin.
Oh shit.
I'll chop it in half like that, and then we just we're going to do just a rough dice. So these two the onions and the potato are going to go in together. So, and then last but not least is the garlic. Is it me, or is garlic becoming very hard to peel these days? Oops. All right. Time to get cooking. Okay, I use a cast iron skillet for this. I just love these things. I'm going to put a fairly generous amount of olive oil on the bottom. And we'll throw the chorizo and the bacon into the skillet first. Doesn't matter that it's not hot, it'll heat up soon enough. And I love using these little wooden spatulas with my cast iron because it doesn't scratch the seasoning.
They're great. What Joe didn't say was that he made that.
Yeah, I had some deep purple blaring in the shed with my table saw, and away we went. We knocked up a few of these and gave them to some friends who all loved them too, so very gratifying. Now you want your about medium heat here, and we're just going to get all this nice and brown.
Joe, is your pan level?
Of course it's level, because I've got, from my famous 7 hacks video, adjustable table legs.
Good.
And it's not too bad.
Good.
Now that chorizo is going to render down a little bit and give us some lovely paprika flavoured oil into the pan, which is going to flavour these potatoes. Okay, that's about where we want it. A little bit of colour on the sausage. The bacon has started to render down, and we're just going to lift it all out of the fry pan now. You take the meat out, because if you don't, it will overcook and it'll go hard and not very nice. So we want to love this meat and make sure it stays nice and tender for us there. So once we do this, we're going to throw in the potato and onion. We're going to leave the garlic out because it'll go a bit bitter.
It burns too quickly, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And I love the flavour of garlic, but I've got to say when it's burnt it's a little bit less than optimal. Okay. So now we're going to go and grab, could you pass me the potatoes and onions, Lee?
Sure.
Thank you. There we go. We'll leave a little bit of garlic for later. Oh, look at that. Missed that bit. Just turning the heat down a little bit. Now what we want to happen is get all these nice and cooked up, get a little bit of crispiness on the potatoes as well. And if there's one thing that cast iron skillets love, is having something fried in them there. It all gets into the pores and reinforces your seasoning. So I've heard.
Well, that's looking good, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very tasty. There's something about the potatoes, I find them quite creamy in this dish, and it's certainly going to fortify you for the day.
Definitely.
Now to give things a little wriggle along, we've got this multi-sized lid that we pop over the fry pan, traps the heat in, helps the potatoes to cook a bit quicker. Let's see how we're going.
Oh yes.
That's starting to look pretty awesome, isn't it?
Beautiful. I'm getting hungry now.
We'll give it a bit of a stir. We've got some nice bit of browning on the potatoes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to grab that knife, Lee, if I may. Let's just make sure the potatoes are nice and soft. And they are, they're beautiful.
Beautiful. Crispy on the outside and nice and soft on the inside.
So now we add the meat back in. And Lee, if you can do the honours with a bit of garlic. So we chuck the garlic in.
A large piece in there.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
We're both eating garlic, so it's quite okay. It's the old story there. So mix it all up.
And it does give it a really nice flavour, that bit of added garlic.
Gives it a bit of a kick, doesn't it? So we're just going to incorporate these two together and get the garlic a little bit cooked. And then comes the magic. Okay, about this time we'll add a little bit of paprika. There we go. This is a bit of sweet paprika. We'll just sprinkle a bit on there. And there's a bit of hot paprika, probably half as much. Get that all mixed up. And we'll turn the heat down a tiny bit, because we don't want this all to... Now it's added a nice little bit of colour and aroma to the dish, hey? Now to finish it off, we crack our eggs in there and we'll actually let's put them in. 2. Buddy's having a bark at something over there. Lucky last 3.
Hi. Hey, hey.
Okay, let's see the moment of truth. Is it done? Oh yes.
Oh, yum.
Good to go.
Righto, there's our halved cherry tomatoes. Going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we'll dress them, and they'll just be a nice little accompaniment for our breakfast hash. So a bit of sherry vinegar. I use a nice Spanish one. And just a little splash of olive oil. And I'll just mix that around a bit, and I'll give it a bit of a flip around with the tongs just before we serve it.
Okay, we need to get that into our bellies, Lee. Let's serve it all up.
Yep, I'm certainly starving. What about you?
I am, actually.
Add some tomatoes.
Yes, please. Never say no. Okay.
Okay, here's your tomatoes. They always go nicely with a hash. Some fresh tomato.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we've done with hashes is a little bit of avocado on the side, haven't we?
Avocado goes
Which is
great.
very nice as well.
So here we are, folks.
Yum.
The breakfast hash.
Oh,
We're going to get in a little bit closer and give you a look at it.
Yum. Then we're going to quickly eat it.
Breakfast of champions, guys. Oh, always look forward to this.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you break your yolk into it all.
Mm-hmm. That's the best part, I think, isn't it?
I think so. Nature's little sauce container. Good?
Very.
My word.
Good morning. Today we have breakfast number 2. Now, it's a very damp morning here today, so this breakfast we're going to cook inside as opposed to outside. Well, Joe will be cooking it. What are you cooking, Joe?
Well, I reckon everybody, when they're camping, loves a bit of crumpet. So we're going to cook crumpets inside, and believe me, once you taste these crumpets, you'll never buy them again yourself.
They are pretty good.
Not bad at all. Let's have a look at how we do it. Okay, so to make this recipe, it's simplicity itself. You're going to need some plain flour, a cup. You're also going to need a cup of milk. We use full cream milk, but you can use whatever you like there. And you'll need to warm this to sort of blood temperature. You'll need a sachet of yeast, teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt. We purchased these 12mm rings from Bunnings, I think it was. These are perfect for forming the crumpets. You'll need a whisk. And I think that's about it, a measuring cup. So let's start putting this all together. Okay, so this is simplicity itself. We've got a cup of flour here, plain flour, into the bowl. We have half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and our packet of yeast mix. That's all the dry ingredients. Pretty simple, huh? Now I'm going to go and get the milk. This is 1 cup of milk, and I've just heated it to blood temperature, so it's you know, just barely warm. You need that for the yeast to activate. If the milk's too cold, this will take quite a while. So we'll just pour that in. And then you just whip it up with a whisk to the consistency of thick cream. So let's get into that. And get all the lumps and bumps out of it.
A little bit of exercise for the day, Joe.
Oh, it is. And then once we got this all, this recipe will make about 6 crumpets. If you want to do more for your family, just double it all. Do 2 cups. We've done that a few times, and we've actually frozen the crumpets for another day, and they're still great.
Yeah, they freeze really well, and then you can just pop them into the toaster once they've defrosted.
So I reckon that's about right there. That's about the consistency. Whoops, I'm making a mess. But then what bloke doesn't make a mess when he's trying to cook something? Now what we do with this is we put it in a warm place, and we're going to let it proof. Takes about half an hour, so don't be in too much of a hurry. This is our trusty trusty fridge vent, and that'll I might put the tea towel over the top.
Yeah, that's clean. Yep.
A trusty fridge magnet. So we're going to let that sit, and in the meantime we might make a nice fresh brew of coffee to have with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal on the crumpet batter. That's been sitting there on that nice warm area. Now have a look at that.
Wow.
It more than doubles.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely full of bubbles.
Yep.
And good to go. So we're going to start making these. We need a fry pan on gas. We don't have a very high flame here. You actually want it to be not that low. You actually want it to be fairly low. The reason being that the crumpets are quite thick, and if the frying pan is too hot, you're going to burn the bottom and they're going to be raw inside. So you want to do this very, very slowly. A bit of cooking spray. Pop your 4 rings in, and I give them a bit of a spray as well. This frying pan is not quite as big as the one at home.
No.
Okay. Oh, this is very, very bubbly, hey?
Actually, Joe, I'm thinking you might need to do 3 in there.
3
One
at a
of them's
time?
not quite touching the bottom.
Good idea. Okay, 3 it is. We do 4 at home. Can you get in nice and close there, Lee?
Sure. Just trip over the dog here.
Just to give you an idea just how bubbly that is. Have a look at it. Okay.
Beautiful.
I usually do 2 tablespoons. I think we're going to go 3. You want about half fill the rings.
So Joe's using a soup spoon. We don't have a tablespoon in the camper. Very minimalistic, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, we don't have a
Not even a tablespoon.
hell of a lot of accessories. I get the biggest kick from making amazing things with next to nothing. That's just me. Anyway, this one they'll start cooking now. We'll keep that over there covered. And we'll be back. They take probably about 4 minutes aside, folks. The pan has to heat up a little bit here. The next lot will go a lot quicker. Okay, these crumpets have been going for a couple of minutes now. You can start to see the bubbles forming. And they're actually smelling pretty darn wonderful.
They are.
And this is the secret. I made them before and I actually cooked them too quick and didn't end up getting the bubbles. Tasted beautiful, but the bubbles are the best because they're the things that sort of soak up all the butter and the jam and whatever that you have. Folks, these are getting really close to taking the rings off and flipping them over. How good do they look, eh? Mark my words, if you cook these crumpets, you'll never buy a packaged crumpet again. All right, let's give it a go, folks. It might stick a little bit, but we'll see if we can release them. Yeah, I think I was a little bit quick with the spraying. They're not quite. Well, this one's not quite sprayed enough, but anyway, here we go.
Yay.
It's out.
Awesome.
This one is out. See, that one was fine.
Beautiful.
And this one is a little bit
It's
stuck
a
as
tricky
well.
one.
There we go.
Oh, not too bad.
Now, the moment of truth. Let's try and flip them over. Or a little bit longer than we should have, but not too bad. We just toast the bottom for a sec or two.
Yum. Oh, they smell good.
They do. Then we can do another batch. Okay, let's have a bit of a look. That's how you want them on the other side, just lightly toasted. You've got all those beautiful bubbles there to catch all the lovely ingredients. Great. And I'm going to do another batch.
Awesome.
I'll call it. Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful.
Gas off. There we go. Time for breakfast, Lee.
Oh, finally, yes.
Now for the judgment.
Yum. I'm going to have some marmalade, I reckon.
Oh, marmalade's always good.
Yep.
Yeah, more like a brunch than a breakfast today.
It is. That's all right.
So, taste test.
Spot on.
Spot on?
They're delicious.
Good as a bought one?
Better.
Awesome.
Way better.
Okay, I'm going to eat now. Oh, jeez. Didn't they come up good?
Breakfast number 3, overnight muesli. Now we would often have this breakfast on a travel day because that morning we've got to pack down the camper, get everything sorted, hook the camper up and set sail. So it's something quick you can do the afternoon or evening beforehand. Pop it in the fridge overnight, good to go the next morning. You can pop it into individual glass jars or plastic containers and take it with you on the road if you prefer. Have it an hour into your journey. And here's what you need. So we need some muesli, some Greek yogurt, some milk. You can use oat milk, coconut milk. I've just got good plain old milk today. And some frozen berries, or you could perhaps even use any other fruit of your choice. But we do like the frozen berries. And here's how we do it. You need a container to put your muesli in, something nice and secure to go in the fridge. Now, I've measured out the muesli already, so there's half a cup there per person, so that is a 1 cup measure. So we pop that in. Now, some people just like their muesli with some milk. We love some Greek yogurt in ours. It adds a really nice flavour.
Bit of zing.
Bit of zing. So we put some of that in. I don't generally measure, so you can add whatever you like, and then we just mix it to consistency. I reckon that is probably pretty good. I'm just going to give that a little mix. Actually, that looks quite good. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of milk in there as well, just to thin it down a bit. Once again, just add whatever you think works for you. You might be making a larger quantity as well, so just do it to suit. Give it a good little mix. I think that's going to be quite okay. Often I faff about trying to get it right, but I think this looks pretty good. What do you reckon, Joe?
Tries to get it nice and even. This muesli has a lovely consistency. Very much like porridge, but it's cold and very refreshing in the morning.
And it's one of those things, depending on the brand of muesli you use, it'll, you know, react a little bit differently to the liquids you pop in. Okay, so that's that. Now we just pop our frozen berries on the top and they just slightly defrost overnight. We like lots. Okay, that should about do us. So they'll just sit there on the top, do their thing.
Yeah, they'll lose a little bit of juice into the muesli. Oh,
they do. Looks good already.
Really nice. Can't wait.
And that is how simple this is. Now we just pop the lid on, pop it into the refrigerator overnight. If I can get the lid on. Perfect. And that's it. Now we'll come back tomorrow morning and see what it's like.
Can't wait.
Okay, here we are. It's the next morning and here's our overnight muesli. We had a bit of rain through the night here, so it could be a damp pack up this morning, Joe.
I think it will be.
Anyway, breakfast is ready. Coffee's ready too. Let's open it up. Well, it looks really nice.
This is such a nice breakfast when you're in a bit of a rush.
It is. Oh, those berries have just soaked through and released some of their juices into the muesli. You could put, I reckon, tin apples would be, canned apples or fresh stewed apples would be really nice with this as well.
Even pears.
Yeah, pears.
If you want to go super tropical, a bit of pineapple.
Pineapple, or I think if you just wanted to leave it as is and then slice a banana on top of it the next morning, that'd be really nice as well. Okay, there we are, Joe.
Oh, that looks like me.
It's you. These frozen berries are good, really good to travel with though. Righto. You ready,
So we're
Joe?
good to go? Yeah.
We are.
Let's
get into this and pack up.
So the taste test, huh?
What do you think, Joe?
Look, this is always just a nice breakfast. It's super easy.
It is. It's quite filling too, isn't it?
Well, it's not over the top. It's a good breakfast to have when you're travelling, when you're sitting in the car. It digests fairly well.
Yeah.
If you have a big heavy breakfast, it's never all that
sits
good.
in your belly in the car. Not nice. Well, we've really enjoyed sharing these breakfast recipes with you, and we hope that you enjoy cooking them too.
If you'd like to get a copy of the recipes, we've prepared some recipe sheets that are downloadable and printable, and you'll find the link to our website in the description notes below.
And thank you so much for watching. We hope you give us a like. If you haven't already subscribed, we'd love you to do so and would very much appreciate that. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, folks.